Hello, welcome to Timeless Conversations, the channel where we talk about life and adulting,
the ups,
the downs,
and everything in between.
My name is Robinah.
My name is Aisha.
And my name is Sharon. So, ladies, it's the festive season and
Oh, we are excited.
it's really
Best time of
exciting,
the
right?
year.
I know, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah.
And I know my son just couldn't stop talking about Christmas. When he was still in school, he just kept asking, is it Christmas today? Is it Christmas today? So yeah, in our family, it's definitely the most wonderful time of the year.
I know. We went to Carrefour. Is it called Carrefour or Carrefour?
Depending on which nursery school you went to.
Well, you're the one who's doing French. Please tell us.
We haven't gotten to names of supermarkets. But my goodness, I loved how my kids were, all over the place for Christmas designs and those glittery stuff. It reminded me
things
of,
that excite them.
the innocence and purity that comes with kids about Christmas.
Definitely.
Woo, I love Christmas and the festive season. It's the most
Same
exciting
here.
time of the year.
Same here. So that being said, we enjoy the festivities that come with Christmas, but we also know that as Christmas draws near, the year is also coming to an end, and that can be a daunting time because you're thinking back and you're thinking the year has ended and what have I done with the year? So in today's episode, we want to sit back, reflect, and see how the year has been, the things that have been good to us, the bad things, and what we've learned from that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lessons learned.
Who is starting us off?
Let's
Okay,
start
the
with you,
lottery
Robinah.
has fallen on
Yes.
me. For me, while thinking about how the year has been, I can't help but be grateful for the little things. Not even the big things, by the way, for me. So one of the things that I started doing is paying more attention to how I feel, paying more attention to my emotions and how I respond to the things that I go through. And I reflected and I realized that I needed help. Like there are some things that weren't going on right. So I started therapy this year. And it's something that I've been pushing. Something I'd been pushing at the back for a while. But you know how growing up in an African traditional.
We don't need therapy. We have thick skin.
That's what you think. Like that's
That-
what we
like, that's
think.
the mentality,
Yes,
yeah.
that we are strong. We are Africans, we cheat, but we need help. We have a lot of trauma from the things that we went through in our childhood. So even by the way, those families that seem to be perfect, seem to everything is going on well, somehow something is a trigger or something is amiss. So for me, I sought help this year, and I'm so happy for myself. I'm so proud of myself. Yes, so it's been a good journey so far. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
nice. We're happy for you too.
We are. Woo, 2023.
2023.
By the way, when we were ending 2022, I'm one of those people that greatly rely on the tradition of resolutions, and I really look forward to a new beginning each year that comes. So I was very excited about 2023. In fact, I thought that it was going to be a life-changing year. But yes, it has been very life-changing, but not in a way that I actually thought it would. I had very high hopes in the year. At the beginning of the year, my husband and I had set a goal, and we invested in a lot of money. We're not talking about 50 million or something. A lot of money. And then we slowly saw this thing crumbling down. Like,
Oh dear.
we saw it all. Oh, it's okay. But like, sincerely, when I look back, especially in the first months of the year, I realized that at a certain point we lost track of what God was doing in our lives.
Yeah.
Like we thought we had it all figured out.
Oh,
And truthfully, when I look back, even the prayers that I would make, there's this thing of going to the Lord and surrendering it all. Every time I would go to the altar, I would just be speaking about this one thing of like, God, I know you have already done it, so thank you. And then I would just walk out of the
You'll be
room.
cementing
of the-
your
yeah,
plan. Your plan.
like,
I know.
everything about our life
rotated
rotated
that.
around this thing.
Oh dear.
And as it crumbled down, and for me, I realized that I was learning all the lessons that the Lord was teaching me. My character was getting developed in all the ways that the Lord had willed it to be. So for me, 2023, to be honest, it has been a year of lessons only. I've not enjoyed it, but I know that maybe this is a step that is going to get me greater years ahead, because my husband has this thing he says that the current state of our life cannot be compared to what is yet to come.
Definitely.
Of course.
So for me, that is the only comfort I take. But 2023, no,
So there's no chance of recovery.
not at all. Yeah.
So for me, end of 2022, like as I was ending 2022, it was really like a time of reflection for me. I wasn't like in a very bad place, but it definitely wasn't where I wanted to be. And I remember sitting back and thinking to myself, like, I probably am not happy with where I want to be career-wise, or maybe in as far as my professional education is concerned. Like in all those different aspects, like I felt like I was beating myself up a lot, if I'm being honest. I felt like, and it was all about comparison. Like, man, look at my friends, like,
Look at my peers.
look at my peers, And then I was like, but no. So like I spent most of 2022 in that state of like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, hello. But thank God towards the end of 2022, like I started, thinking about it. I'm like, I can't go on like this. So I entered 2023 really determined, like, I need to do this. I'm like, I was always passionate about business and all that. So 2022's end is when I started planning and strategizing, like, Trabara Beauty, trying to, think about it. Then it's also when I thought about, like, should I call it resuming school? You guys, first of all, when you keep beating yourself up and telling yourself, like, how could you, like beating yourself up doesn't change anything.
It doesn't.
So it's at that point when I was like, I actually need to do something about this. So I remember 2023, I said I had to, like, figure this thing out, decided to go back to school. You know how you can be at the finish? That's the funny thing about self-doubt. Like, when you've run such a long race and you've moved from this point to this point, and all you have is this point to get to the finish line, but you don't really see that. Like, you don't look at how much you have achieved, but you focus so much on how much you haven't yet achieved. So I just told myself, you know what, let me just, give it one more time and, see how this is going to be. Let me do this paper one last time, hopefully, while I wait for the results. Let me do this paper one more time and, see how it's going to turn out. So for me, career-wise, it was a place of, like, turning around and saying, I'm not going to wallow in self-pity, but I'm going to, do my best. And as long as I'm doing my best, the rest is just noise. Yeah.
Yeah, when you are sharing about that, reminds me of how this year started, and I looked at the things that I wanted to do better, and one of them was to be a better mom. So I joined a book club.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
And we are reading books about parenting and really sharing our experiences. So it's one of those things that has really taught me a lot. Being a single parent, I feel like I have a lot more to do than two-parent households. So this year I decided to invest a little bit in becoming a better mom, and to learning how best God wants us to steward the children He has given us. So I've really learned. The book club has incredible people who share their experiences. Some of them were raised in really stable families, and they share how their parents did the things that they did and how it has helped them be who they are. So it's been such an incredible journey. And we are on our second book. I've learned a lot from everyone's experience and from the book on how God wants us to steward the children that He has given us. So for me, this year really has been a lot of investing in some of the things that I'm passionate about, but also taking care of myself. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, I loved the way this year started, and okay, as everything started to go wrong, I said, you know what? We're not going to wallow in self-pity.
Yeah.
What do we do about it? When AI is not moving as it should be, we go into self-discovery. So I started a self-discovery journey where I deliberately went for the things that I thought I had always wanted to do, but because of maybe self-doubt or, like just self-sabotage, I said I had put them I had put them aside. But then I realized that if I don't do them now, maybe there'll never be a time that I get to, to really intentionally go after them. So one of the things that I was very excited to start was the French school.
Oh.
Yeah, I started the French school because for a long time, when I started working for the humanitarian space, I always knew it's a misconception. I've spoken to a couple of friends that work in the UN space.
Or that whole French,
Like
is
their
another
languages.
It's a misconception.
And
apparently, apparently those languages only matter if you're going to be an expatriate.
But yes, then it
That
matters.
is the goal.
But if you're
goal.
intending to work within your local community, or
It
like in
doesn't
the
matter.
Ugandan space, it doesn't matter. So anyway, of which also, like, it's almost very rare for someone to start on the expatriate level, right? So either way, but it's a plus for me either way. When I work for the UN, or I just use my French to translate Yalevi songs. It's a win-win.
It's still a win.
France
I know.
Yeah. When I go to see the, what do they call that?
Is it the Eiffel Tower?
The
The
Eiffel,
Eiffel
the
Tower?
Eiffel.
The Eiffel.
She has to tell
Oh,
us.
please
The
do
Eiffel.
tell us. Oh, it's Eiffel. So, guys, it's the Eiffel Tower. Tell them.
The Eiffel Tower. So anyway, I decided to do also guitar lessons.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you.
How are your fingertips?
Are you going back to the drums?
Guys, everything I have said before that I wanted to do, those ones that I also feared to do this year, was it for me.
Nice.
I also started business. like, okay, of course I started with my husband's
And remember how
business.
Aisha would always say business is not for everyone.
Yeah.
So guys, clearly, if you give it a shot,
Anything is
You can
business
never
could be
know.
for you.
I mean, the risk averse me.
Sis, we are many.
The times I've had TED Talks with myself,
Oh wow.
telling myself that, you know, this is not for me. I'm not cut out for business. Like,
You don't have
I
the muscle for
I
it.
don't have the muscle for it. I feel like the only thing that I wanted to do in my life is if I stop working the career side of like the normal operational implementation and stuff, I would go into academia. Yeah, it's always been my thing that I would go into academia.
Oh, wow.
But then I'm like, as we are pursuing those books, we are also going to be doing something here.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then also my husband and my mom mostly talked me into business. But she said a thing of like, you could do it passively if you don't have the heart for it. You could just employ people that have the love for it, and then they will do the work for you while you just manage and supervise. Although I feel like for me, wherever you invest your effort and time,
You have to
should
reap more.
yield.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, this is self-discovery, and I know that, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about the next year, because I am going to do more and more, because I've realized that the human body has absolute potential.
It does.
The things that we can do with our
Yeah.
bodies. Imagine there were times that I was grumbling for sleeping for maybe 8 hours. I thought that it was
Not enough.
But now I sleep for 4 hours, wake up refreshed and ready to hit it.
Oh wow. I mean, what you train your brain to do
Yes,
is
is exactly what
it's
it
going
will
to
do.
Yeah.
So for me, 2023, okay, the thing I've also seen is that, yes, the self-doubt could be there, but whatever you feed your mind, will, you know, like if you have accepted it within yourself that this is not going to work, it won't. Take a look at what we are now. Timeless conversations, how we started it.
Definitely.
That's
Yeah.
one of the highlights, by the way.
Definitely. Yeah.
Imagine we started this year. How many videos later? Here we are.
Several videos later.
Very many videos later of recording one and not airing it
I
because of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Like we were there talking each other not posting the video, and eventually we didn't. But the first video went up, guys. That's all that matters, and the rest came on.
Yeah.
And I am so glad we did this.
I mean, look
I
at
am
us
so
now.
glad we did this.
Look at us now, indeed. Look at us now.
So, a highlight, Timeless Conversations.
Yes.
Was introduced to the world in
Yep.
2023.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the three amazing ladies. I've also learned to work with this team and the other team behind the camera that you guys don't
Hi,
know.
team.
We should invite them.
We should host them, and who will hold the cameras there.
Right?
We'll get someone.
Yeah, we shall have to get someone else to do that day.
Yeah, so it's been a highlight for me. I've always wanted to do this. I think I shared it with Aisha. Like
Oh, we did share it.
yes,
Yeah.
we've always like
All of
individually.
us actually
Yes,
wanted to do.
individually, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that we came together and started this amazing thing together for me has been a highlight. After putting it off for so long, I think
I
it took-
know.
we
We
started-
started talking about it
at the beginning of the year.
No, last year.
Yes,
Wow.
Remember the first time I had the
When we talked
conversation
to-
with you?
yes.
Yeah.
last year actually.
And then I showed her the video. I also
Yes, she
and
had
had never
something she was
posted.
working
where
on.
is it?
She's
Post.
there.
Like all of us just had the passion, but we had
Yeah.
shelved it somewhere.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
And we eventually did it. So guys, try until you actually perfect the art.
Indeed.
That's
Shoot.
not easy.
Hey, it's
never
not.
easy.
Shoot that first video in case you want to join this space.
But the way we were shaking,
Timid and scared.
Words were disappearing. The camera
the
was
cut.
intimidating.
It still is though for me.
You got
But at
this.
least you can sit here and talk to
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
it's also been an achievement because it's something we've been looking to do, and it's in 2023 that we actually did it. So kudos to us.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, it's actually also one of the things that I had, and there's actually power in doing things together, guys.
Yes.
Because remember we had these conversations like, oh, I actually also want to do this. Like you talk about things, but it's also important whom you talk to. So
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
someone else could downplay
And
you.
talk you out
So
of
don't
Yes.
yes, but don't hide the ideas because then you never know who is actually going to come and boost that idea that you have.
Absolutely.
One other thing I'm really grateful for in 2023 is my relationship with God. I grew up in my teens as a young adult. I grew up around church. And you know, as you grow, career comes in, family comes in, you even move church and things like that, like you move locations. So for me, that kind of suffered. And then, okay, it wasn't really that, but COVID, giving birth and COVID, yes, those are like the two things that really like made me put it on pause because I wanted to like focus on taking care of my child. But I forgot that I am also God's child.
I
need
know.
To be taken
to
care
be taken
of.
care of by my father by going to him and seeking his face. Yeah, but I thank God for 2023 that. Do you guys know about church heart?
Yes.
So
News to me.
to bring Aisha up to speed, so church heart is when you're in the church circles and then something happens and you feel like this person hurt me, like maybe this sector in the church hurt me and something like
Or they
that.
should know better
Or they
because
should,
they are
yes,
Christians.
yes. So I kind of experienced something like that in like the community bits of church, and it made me withdraw. So I was like,
You can't let
what
such
kind?
a thing
Yes,
take,
like how
take
do
you
Christians
away.
do it? Yeah, but it took me a few months. I'm like, but wait, like it is me and my God, yeah. And for me, there was a season in the women's ministry when we had a book we were reading, and that was like
Yay, that book was
Yes.
so good.
that
It
was
was
like
so
the turning point that made me like remember and go back to my God and like remember what it felt like to be in communion
in the
that
beginning.
fellowship with like sisters, girls, like members of the church. So I'm really happy to like be back in that space. So it's really being able to go back and know that I can have this communion, this fellowship, because honestly, like the Christian journey, the faith journey, like essentially life can't be done, alone. And
Yeah.
at church, they one of the things that we like to say is do life together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's biblical fellowship.
exactly. So for me, yeah, that was like one of my biggest highlights of 2023. The ladies I've gotten to connect with.
Even me, you started connecting with me in 2023.
But Aisha.
Aisha, you used to refuse work friends.
You guys, Aisha and I used to work together, and she was like, "Me, I can't be friends with workmates."
Go and watch the previous episode if
And
you
I
want
would be
to.
like, Aisha,
If you want to
maybe we
confirm
can-
this allegation.
Me, I would tell her work people can be friends. And here we are.
but you clearly see that
yeah.
we're now closer because of
Yes.
timeless conversations
Exactly.
than I am with anyone that I worked with
Yeah.
previously. So it's valid.
Indeed,
I
yeah.
wanted to add on the point of church heart. It's such a it's such a big thing that some of us Christians are not aware of, and I feel like we we, the people who are being hurt, should just know that they are human.
Yeah.
Being Christian is just an aspect of them, but innately they are human. And the Bible says we are sinful. Just at birth, a child is born sinful. So their original response can never be that righteousness or love or peace.
Just because they're Christian.
Just because they're Christian. Their first response to you is their, like, the core of who they are is humanity and sinfulness. So don't, for me, I just look at people and just move on with my life. Anyway, it's a place that I've gotten to recently also, because I remember last year, someone who was engaged got pregnant before she was married. And man, people came for her. And for me, being someone who has walked in those shoes before, because for me, my response was I ran away from the home church that had been grounded and rooted in at the time. I really just disappeared because I knew the judgment that was coming for me, and I wasn't mentally ready. So I ran away. So this time around, this lady, and people talked about her, people said things about her, because we are not perfect. Even that lady got pregnant is not perfect. So now people started using that against her. So church hurt is a real thing, but as the person being hurt,
It is.
I'm hearing all.
really just take those people as sinners and let God deal with them. So for me, that's usually my response. Because I remember I ran away. I knew what was coming.
For me, that is actually one of the things that get me wondering. Isn't this supposed to be the safe space where you go to?
It is, but there are those who are safe.
The doctrine of righteousness should not be upon humans.
Of course. So there are people who are safe. Like for me, the group that she's talking about, sisterhood, I met incredible people who have listened to me and prayed with me and walked with me. So we had a program called Apples of Gold, where the older women teach younger women. It has a theme in Acts where the Bible was instructing the older women to teach the younger women how to be better wives, better parents, and all that stuff. So it's a holistic program where we go and cook, but while talking, while discussing stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. So actually, I was a host, which is a story for another day. I didn't want to host. So I hosted, and I feel like that was the best decision I made. So I learned a lot, but also it was a really, really good community.
Yeah, it is.
Judgment free, and if you have a problem, like, people will just come with so much grace and love towards you. So it's not to say that everyone in the church is hurting people. No. There is actually safe space, because I remember there was something that I was going through that was really tough at the time, and I spoke to one of the ladies, and she told me, I'll be praying for you. And she would call me every now and then and pray with me and check in on me and see how I'm dealing with the issue. So not everyone in the church is out there hurting people, but yes, there are those we acknowledge that are not aware that sometimes they are hurting people. So give grace, knowing that we are innately bad people.
By our nature.
Yes.
As humans.
So actually reminded me that that's another book that I read this year.
Ooh.
So
You've really been intentional about reading.
That's nice. That's nice.
And kudos to myself. I used to never finish books.
You and me both. Man, you and me both. Like I know I used to finish novels. You guys, I loved literature. Like, even if is it Dan Brown? Dan Brown. Like, I read The Mills and Bones. I read Dan Brown. I read
Pesetas.
Man, like I
read so many books, I don't even recall their titles and authors.
And I just know the authors. But
the other thing I've learned this year that I think I took for granted for so long is the classification of my friendships.
Oh,
Tell us.
For so long.
Tukube.
yo.
No, si kuba kuba.
No, it's okay.
Good
We are
vibes.
kidding.
I always just had, people that I knew and friends. Of like, it never occurred to me that I had to classify my friends according to the value that I bring to them and that which they bring to me, but also how close we were. And for me, that all of my lessons of 2023, be it sadness, be it in times of joy, I've seen how friendships impact those seasons of my life. So for me, 2023 actually, for the very first time, I allowed vulnerability. But that was only able to happen because a friend offered to allow me be vulnerable at a time when I thought like everything didn't make sense. So because someone has already walked that path, they knew better. And because, I think most of my friends think that I'm the strong friend. I'm always there for people, but I
Always
rarely
look out for the strong friend, guys.
Always.
Yeah, so it was such a good opportunity to see someone genuinely, because I also know that sometimes friends give us an ear, not because they care, but they just want to know what's going on in your life. So for me, that particular time that I said, okay, let us allow and give permission to let ourselves be human. Like, as this girl just told me, Aisha, it's okay. I know.
It actually is okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And the classification also helped me in a way that now I know what the future is like for my friendships. I know who to call a friend indeed. And I know what boundaries we cross with each other when it comes to friendships. I also know how to have expectations when it comes to friendships and family. Yeah.
That's a good place to be.
So 2023, I'm so glad that I have learned that.
Wow. So, I mean, clearly there's been a lot that 2023 has taught us. But if you were to tell our people just one thing, like if you were to summarize everything in one thing, how would you summarize it? And like that one thing that you want to leave them with from your first experiences from 2023?
As you
One.
were saying,
Just one thing.
let me give context.
I know we love to talk.
Let me first give context. So you know how at the beginning of the year you're setting goals, you're doing all these fancy things. For me, I gave myself a word for the year, and it was audacious. So I think that one thing will be audacious because it has been a tough year. I have gone through a lot this year. A lot, actually. I'm probably still going through some of them. But I have been audacious. I have showed up for the things that I like. I have dropped off, some things, but again jumped back at it. I have started this. I don't know, I feel like I've done so many things that I would not ordinarily do, so it's audacious.
I said one, but I'm already looking at my list.
You're the one emphasizing the one.
I shall find out of making it seem like it's one.
For me,
Yes, Aisha.
2023, okay, you said one.
Okay.
But I would say one statement.
Context.
One statement. It is what it is. And it will be whatever it will be. Like, regardless of how careful you are, regardless of how well planned you think you are, if something is meant to happen, it will happen. So me, I've learned that the Lord's will is sufficient. Yes. As you're planning, the Lord is also planning for you. But remember, his plans are good. His plans for your life supersede what you have planned for yourself. So, truthfully, in as much as 2023 has been hard, I have learned to live in the moment. I've learned that life in itself is a blessing.
It definitely is.
A lot of people have died. When I was joining this organization, we were 6 people. For me, that was like the one time light bulb moment of like life can go any minute. Within a week, a girl had died. One of us, the way we joined, meanwhile, she was full of life. She was our age.
Wow.
And she died mysteriously.
No
And even the
explanation.
illness, yes, there was, of course, medics always have a way, but she was not one that was bedridden for so long. You get it? So I have learned that life is a blessing. And you should treat it as such, because not everyone is privileged to have life. And because we are healthy, our children are healthy, our family, like, we don't have any illnesses, that is a plus. And we shouldn't take that for granted.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Indeed, we make plans, but who has the final plan?
The Lord.
God has the final plan. For me, to try and summarize, after insisting,
You're the one who gave us the threshold.
And I think for me it would be try again. Yeah. I mean,
Again until you get it.
The business, it wasn't the first time I was trying business. I had tried business with someone, and you guys, rent became rent. But we learned something. I learned something from that, and I tried again. The school, I had given up, but I tried again. Like in everything, just do not give up. Yeah, as long as it's something that
Your
you
heart
believe.
beats.
Yes. If it's something that you believe, like deep inside your heart, that this is something I feel I need to do, then go for it. Like, don't give up on that dream. Don't give up on that friendship, that marriage, that family, whatever it is, that job. Like, just do everything that you're doing as if you're doing it for the Lord, like we are always told, because when you do it as if you're doing it for God or for a king, then, you give it your ultimate best, yeah? So try again and try again. Those things whereby you put a wrong password and it says, try again, try again. It doesn't say wrong password and keep quiet. No.
And then you put the correct password and it says you have already used that password.
But yeah, really, try again. Try again.
Like, keep showing up. Indeed, I agree with you. Yeah. There's so many things that I think humans only perfect after trying severally.
Right.
Because every failure comes with a lesson.
Yes.
And whenever you pick up a lesson from something, trust me, the next time you'll do it, before you know it, you're a master at the game. So, I believe in you.
Yeah. So, that's how our 2023 was. And, we now are hopeful for 2024, and we want to hear from these amazing ladies, what plans they have for 2024, what are your hopes, your aspirations, without giving too much away here. And we'd also love to hear from you. What are your plans? What are your aspirations? What do you want to see on Timeless Conversations in 2024?
How has 2023 been?
Yeah. So tell us, Aisha.
I'm very hopeful. First, I want to, by the way, I'm a chartered procurement practitioner. So I feel like now is the right time to do the master's degree that I've for so long talked myself out of, because I thought that, what are you mastering in if you haven't even mastered the operational level? But now that I've gotten the managerial experience, I need to get those masters, the master's degree. I also want to be very intentional about parenting, because my kids are now talking. Oh, they speak good English. So
Not blocken one.
not the blocken one.
Not
And you
the
know,
blocken one.
surprisingly, I've always been that parent who was advocating for kids to speak their mother tongue.
But they speak Luganda as well. Like,
Yes,
yeah,
they do, but okay, like previously I was always against teaching kids English when they are still toddlers. But now they
when you hear
they
the
speak
Kazungu,
English.
you're like,
And the English is real English. Then they also speak the Luganda. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing something good about their education and stuff. So, yeah. And then I also want to be really serious about business. Although really business is not my thing.
But you are getting money.
Speak it
Yes.
and believe it.
You are getting money.
And the money is good. Only that, you know, I really liked to do it from the background of like me managing my husband's businesses where he gets the headache while I get to do the lighter work.
But now you have to.
Yeah, but now I have to, yeah. So I think that's really what I plan to do. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you see me at events performing with my guitar.
Okay.
No, that's...
With who?
Your classes have worked and you sing in French.
Indeed.
Oh,
French
so
music,
dramatic.
honey. Why not? Like,
oh my goodness, that's really... I didn't think about it that way.
Well, she went there. She went there.
For us, we know that you're working on yourself.
Yeah. Robinah.
So for me, I don't really do resolutions very well. Because you start on a high gear, then before you know it,
I know.
So I think the word for the year has worked for me. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set another word for 2024. But key priorities, those things you say in meetings.
What are your key?
I know priorities this season. So for me, it will be 1. Self-care, becoming a better person holistically, spiritually, find ways of communing with God as much as I can. As a mom, invest some more because I've seen what reading the 2 books I've read about parenting this year have done for me and my relationship with my little one. So I'm going to read up more and try and be a better mom. I'm also like you. I think from the beginning of this year, I sat on the 1 paper. Yet I could have done more. So next year, I also want to conclude this whole shebang of CPA. Yeah, and hopefully apply for scholarships. For masters.
My God, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I've actually been very, very intentional about this year.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
So I'm also looking.
So
but
make me your partner.
we shall work on it together.
You'll show how to do it.
Yeah. So I want to pursue a master's also. But I don't want to live in this country.
I know.
Our roads are too dusty.
And then another thing on my list is travel. I've only traveled within East Africa.
I know.
To spread my wings a little bit more.
Yeah.
My list is long.
Traveling opens your eyes.
Yes, it does.
Even if it's for just 1 trip, you guys.
It changes
It
something
does.
about you.
Madam UK says so.
So as of East Africa, let us aspire to.
So do East Africa. Small East Africa travels, guys.
Yeah. So for me, yeah, those are my key priorities.
Nice.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not really like a resolutions person. I hope I can be better. But
Such a must.
I know, right? I mean, I guess even the way I do it counts.
Yes.
Because I list things, yeah? Actually, I have like a master list of like the things I would
What
want.
do you call that? If they're not resolutions.
Because
Those
I feel
are
like,
the real
like it
resolutions.
spans
Resolutions.
It's
seem
like
to
it's
be
time,
these
like,
are the things
this year.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
But, you know, I'm curious. Is there any person out there that really follows up on those things the way they resolve to do?
Comment section.
The way they resolve to do, like
I
Jan
guess
up
they're
to
out
December.
there. I guess they're out there.
I'm
Please
curious. I'd
let us
love to know because
Let
that
us
is
know.
pure dedication.
Yeah, it really is.
And they should give us
really
tips
is.
because
Please share
for
tips.
me,
You struggle, eh? I think we all do. But no, yeah, so for me, I make lists. So I have like this long list. I love business, eh? Like I really, really do. I think the only thing that stops me is not having money, like enough to spread and be like, do this, do that. Yeah, but like I have like a master list of all the things I could potentially do, yeah? But really, without going back to that master list, for now, I want to like grow Trabara Beauty. And, you know, when I think about the vision I have for it, sometimes I'm like, but who do I think I am? Like, to even think of
Exactly who you think
you
you
know, like those thoughts come in, eh? But I'm like, yes, I'm like, but why not? Why not? Yeah. My hope and prayer. It's so big for Trabara Beauty, but yeah, I pray it will be bigger than it was this year.
amen.
And even what it has
The
done this
ones
year has
who
been
are
amazing.
watching are our possible clients.
Yeah.
Look at our lipstick.
Trabara Beauties.
Look at our skin.
Yes, but for me, the vision that I have for Trabara Beauty is really not just to make money from it, and it's even in the tagline, like whispers of joy, that the products will bring joy to the person who uses them, from the joy of, wow, my lipstick really looks good, from the joy of, oh my God, my skin is improving, like that joy. So for me, one of the things I really want to see like be big and better is Trabara Beauty. Then yeah, school, I don't know you guys. I hear you guys saying masters, but me, I told myself
This is the last thing I am doing.
I'm like, I'm
And
done.
it's okay, by the way. I know someone
Maybe.
who just did her degree and that
Got
was it.
done.
Maybe the
You'll
love
pick
will come back.
inspiration from us.
Like when I think
If
of,
need be.
yes,
It
if
could
need
could
be.
even not be necessary.
Yeah, because I feel like the only thing I think about when I think more of like self-improvement. Like I want to do like leadership courses. So those are the kind of things I want to pursue. So yeah, I think I hope to do something where I'll become a better leader. Yeah. So
Unfortunately, some employers want the master's degree there.
well,
Then they
And
get
sometimes-
I guess they get to miss out on the
On the talent that you found.
exactly. I remember one time joking with one of the top people, I won't give the title away, where I work, and I don't even know how the conversation came up, and I was saying something like, you know, yeah, I may not have the master's degree, but the experience I have in terms of years and what I have to offer. Like, you know, there are some people who advertise and put that clause that if you don't have a master's degree, experience of this many years, you know,
Yes.
yeah, I have the
Oh.
experience.
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yes. So really, I want to do like a leadership course, and maybe after that, I can think about something else. Yeah.
And I think
That's it, really.
growth is not tied to, okay, in our context it is
Stayed,
that
yeah.
outside Uganda, for me, I know that people value what you know and what you can do more than the qualifications. Yeah. So it's okay. And I know someone, just a degree, but she's balling out there. She's actually growing through the ranks in one of the organizations. And first she said, I'm not going back to school. But she has done quite some work with herself. So she's like the people who value capacity more than the papers.
Yes.
I'm enjoying the benefits of some of these people.
Yeah.
So really, that's it from us. You've had us share about how 2023 was, and you know, our hopes and aspirations for 2024. We hope that, you know, you also please do share with us. We really, really like it when you share with us in the comment section. We know our friends like to come in our inboxes and WhatsApps and,
Right?
and comment in our WhatsApps, yeah? But it helps us, guys, when you comment on the video, yeah? So please, this time round, comment, yeah? And if you haven't subscribed, today is the day, yeah? Like today is your day. If you're watching the video today, please subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you to HD Media that shot and produced this episode. And until next time, from us to you.
Bye.
Bye.